Hello, hello, my crafty friends. Never quite sure when I'm showing up, but all right, give me a few seconds to have that work. So I'm in a couple different places here. There I am. There I am. It's taking a little bit longer to get live here. There we go. Yeah, I knew I wasn't straight. Shoot. All right. Here goes nothing. So I hope you guys are all doing really well. It has been a little bit of a crazy couple of days for us here trying to do our, see, that looks good, or decent enough anyway. Normally I base it on my big computer. Well, it's a little wonky, but we're gonna go with this. So I'm here to just play with some things with our hot foil. I hear myself and I'm not sure where. Make sure that's off. Oh. So I'm going to take these off because I just left them on there when I was cooling things down. So these are some sentiments. And we're going to move them out of the way so that I don't hurt myself. This is cooling down, but we're going to still do some things. Hi, Barbara. How are you? So I'm using some sentiments from here. Classic Greetings Hot Foil dies. And I realized after I did this that it might have worked a little bit better had I done some things differently. But we're not going to sweat that right now. Oh my goodness. Get out some magnetic things. And I want to cut these out. So this is, of course, is sort of the matching game. That's not that one. Happy birthday. Now when you do this, I did find it was better to hot foil first and then die cut, which is normally really backwards from what I like to do, but it is what it is. You're going to want to tape your, with the word things at least, you're going to want to tape that down. Actually, I would think you want to, because I'm not sure how much give there is, but I love having these dies. And I was thinking that I would do this and I would have two different dies, but it is not quite the way it worked. So that I could cut out like a black background on this. Because I had an idea of how on this card that I want to make. There are lots of amazing projects. I'm going to start a album in the Crafty Friends group with some of the projects people have been making, because frankly they're stunning. Okay, and we may not be able to get them all through. Yes, have you done hot foil? A lot of people have already done hot foil. I'm behind the curve. I'm so excited that Stampin' Up! Decided to do it, so I get to play with some stuff that everybody I know has been. How was your week? Are you getting all the smoke? I was looking at the smoke pattern things. Maps, that's what they're called, smoke pattern maps. And it just seems like there is a lot of smoke. Never tried it. Hello, Pat. Pat, were you not looking for an angel stamp at one point? Now this is the one I'm not sure, because I might have gotten things, yeah, too close. So we're going to do the thinking of you a little bit later. I'm going to grab me some magnets because these are driving me bonkers. And we're going to run these through, and I've done the hot foil on them already. I'm going to pick this up and carry it over to my die cut machine. You guys all have experience with the die cutting, so we're not going to show that. We'll show the hot foiling. I'm telling you, this is definitely, it was really, really hard not to play with this, but the last couple days I've been running the Crafty Clearance or Crafty Stash. I'm going to go back to Crafty Clearance with less of a mouthful. Hi, Susan. A long time ago, yes, I actually ended up finding it, and I had it for sale, and I actually never ever used it, which is really sad. So it was a brand new stamp set. Now I always leave my post-it tape, sticky tape on it, and it's just there. But look at how nicely that is cut out. And I need to just do my thinking of you. And that'll give us some sentiments that we'll have to play with here in a little bit. So there were a couple of really, really neat ideas that I saw. Like, my brain is 100 miles an hour right now. But I need to, we finally got the invoices out of that program I'm using. And while I love the inventory side of it, I have to tell you, the ease of getting information out of it, and there must be some secrets, and I'm going to go watch some YouTubes, because what I thought I understood is not what I understood. Oh, whoops. I need this. So I'll just bring this up. And you can kind of see how nice and shiny those are. And so you get this really neat look. Very, very little effort here. I feel like you turn that on, you let it heat up, and then you're done with it. So I want to put this over. I normally have a container where I put all these things that I make so I don't lose them. Go grab one, because I will lose everything on the desk, you know? You guys are all super duper familiar with that. I'm going to put those there. And I'm going to use the backgrounds that we played with on Monday. Gosh, I can't believe this week has gone. YouTube to the rescue, yes. Yes, exactly. I'm going to go, somebody has to have done something on YouTube, Susan. I agree. But it seemed very problematic if people were shopping and then they came back to shop, that people couldn't find their cart again. And so then they started new cart, which typically isn't super bad. Oh, I'll have to have two. Oh, by the way, the hot... just so you guys know, they work on the magnets, because I know that was I wasn't sure, but they do. And you definitely do not have to do the magnetic sheets. I mean, this is totally a me thing, just because the sticky, on the sticky paper, I just find it so annoying. I loved. Okay, so those actually cool down pretty quickly. So I'm going to just keep those into here. This is just a new set. And then I had some sentiment, or not sentiment panels that I was going to play with. And then I have just since realized that I didn't do it the best way possible, because I'm sorry, I have to run and get a container to put stuff in. I didn't do it the best way because I didn't use a different color than white, so I might have to cut something out of black. Or whatever we decide we're going to do with this. Alright. So here is this. To put these in, right? We got to have that. So I grabbed some basic gray, and I know I have a basic, or I'm pretty sure I have a basic gray stamp set, but I do not know where it's at. I grabbed my, oh shoot, what's the name of this one? New things that I don't remember names of. These over here into the bucket. Oh yeah, we're going to play with this beautiful paper too. This is in the catalog right now. And with the new September stuff, it's going to be beautiful. So this is Flourishing Frames, and they're dies and hot foil dies. And the idea is that you cut them out and then you die cut them out. Don't try to do the die cut first and then put that down and then try and line that up. It's hot. Oh, yay for you, Susan. That's awesome. So yeah, when I said that I was trying not to burn myself, that was sort of a joke, but not a joke. I'm going to keep this in here. I recommend this just because it's nesting dies, and I love me some nesting dies. So technically, this should go over like that. And look, you're going to get that die cut out. I'm going to be amazing. So you're going to see me playing with this a lot more, because I just feel like this gives such a pretty oomph to things. And I don't get stuck with a bunch of leftover things because sometimes you use everything and sometimes you don't. So you guys can see how that lines up. There we go. Okay, so we're going to run those through right quick so we have those on hand, and then we're going to do some stamping and create a card that I have in my head. Some people have just done, like I said, some amazing things. And I've already done the Get Well and Thinking of You. I kind of went and did those again, so those will just be our spares if we need them, and we'll cut them out if we need them. But look at that, guys. A little bit off, but not bad. And talk about elegant. I'm thinking Christmas cards. I'm like so there. As far as like looking at this, and they have some paper. Again, this is going to be going on some magnets. Need some more magnets here. But there's a small one in there. I have lost it on the floor somewhere here. Nobody should be surprised. Nobody should be shocked by that. So before we heat this up again and get going, I just wanted to get a few little things and have you see what I did. This is, yeah, cool enough to set that on. Move my pieces, the folders out of the way. And let's play with this. Ooh. So how is everybody's week? Just out of curiosity. Okay. I think I want to do this. I want to do the gray. So I'm into the sort of the silvery thing here. This is going to need, this will be the card base, which I'm going to just take the easy so week. Okay. inside of my card right there. Yay. Now, you could, oh, sprained ankle, no, that's not fun. I would have died if I had a sprained ankle right now with all the running around we've been doing trying to get get things out. And so we've done like the first preliminary thing, and I've got all the receipts printed, and so now we have to do quality control, as Jeff calls it, and double check that we have everybody's stuff in the right boxes. Yay, right? And then I went around because some people got stuff, but it's like a lot of embellishments, and I'm like, that does not need to go in a flat rate box. So I'm trying to figure out some different ideas on what we can do so that we're being the most economic with shipping. Okay. Just gonna stick this panel in there just so I don't forget. So we mail this out. Now this is that beautiful, beautiful silver paper. It truly is stunning. It's like a white pearl, and then it's like tinsel. If you had tinsel on your tree, I have not in years done tinsel on my tree. My husband despises tinsel. Ah, that's an accurate statement. That's an accurate statement. All right, so this is going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I am not going to put this down yet because I'm going to wrap it with, and these come in 12 by 12. I've been using this on a lot of projects. Some of you guys got to see the balloon card that I made for one of my sisters. But I am thinking about using this black underneath here. You know, it'll be set up, of course, and tying it off after we make the next panel. So the next panel is going to be in gray. And we're going to stamp it, and we're going to emboss it. Hot foil it, not emboss it. So this card, let's see, this is the 5. This is going to be 5 inches. I wasn't sure which way I was going to go. And we're going to create 3 3/4 panels. Always do things in 2 if you cut things out. So if you screw it up, you've got a backup, right? Right. I really think the tinsel on the tree is slightly dangerous. That's me, though. Completely, totally me. But I know people love it. And because I'm not sure where my basic gray is, I think I mentioned that we're going to use, I need to make sure I don't bury those plates that we're going to need. Get this. Have my little stamp mat underneath here. And I'm going to take that stamp set that also has the foils. And we did this, and I'm going to use the brick. And come back in here, and I'm just going to get the brick stamp. We'll just... Now this trick of outlining my dies has come in stamps has come in handy today, as I was trying to find the blocks for, I was trying to find the stamp sheets for a number of stamps. So I definitely advise when you open it up, just take the time to, is that good enough? I could probably do a different one, but this will work. Make sure to season it. Keep your pieces together. I had like pieces all over the place. And we're going to take out this die right here. put it to the side. And grab my gray. Yes, I am loving the textures. For those of you guys who were not here and you got to watch me and all my wonder here play with it, because we opened the box, we looked at everything in the box, we embossed away, and I learned my first lesson of hot foil. Always remember the paper, otherwise you get this. But we got some very, very pretty, and this does not transfer, interestingly enough. This is not transferring off to other papers when I run them through. And I just love this pink Swiss dot I made. The Swiss dot is a real keeper for our work here. You can Swiss dot anything. All right. Grab me a piece of paper here, scratch. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. Okay, that looks good. I was worried it wasn't going to look really good. My bricks. And I'm really not trying to line these guys up. I'm just kind of putting them on here. And remember, there's going to be some other things that I'm just not quite sure what we're going to have. And this is random stamping. If you guys haven't done it before, it's a great way to make your own background and texture paper, or DSP, pattern paper, whatever you fancy to call it. Okay, put that over there. And now comes the fun part. We are going to move everything off of here. I'm not really sure what it will do, and I really don't want to find out. Why not just pull that? There it is. I was like, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so this is magnetic. Slides right in. Love that I don't have to look at it. It's going to heat itself up, and we're going to wait for a little bit. And while we wait, this is kind of my grungy idea, but I think I want that silver paper to show up just a little bit more. Let me see. Yeah, I can take off another, let's see, that's a quarter, so I think I can take another. Be safe than sorry, take less. I'm just going to take a quarter of an inch off each side of this. I really do want to, say, ooh, this is pretty. Keep these little strips. You don't know what you could use them for in this particular case of making a card. 3/4 to 3.5. And then we were straight up 5, so we're going to go down to 4 1/4 on the bottom here. Okay, so that makes sense. So while that's heating itself up, okay. Nope, not what I found. So while I have this, we know that it's going to go on top of this. We know that we're going to heat this up and make this very pretty on the inside to match the outside paper that we're backing this on. So that will be super pretty. And I did have the black out, but I just realized I really don't have any other like black in there. I have this kind of pretty gray. This is the colors of the rainbow, right? Oh my gosh, I just found a bunch of ink pads. Look at this, you guys. I moved something to get into something and found ink pads. I cannot wait to have everything be, yeah, that's pretty. I think I like that better than the black. Okay, we got this done, got that done. We have this idea to tie, and then we have our sentiments. Now I'm kind of glad, given that I shrunk this all up. Do that, and we'll do a get well. Okay. It'd be kind of cool if we had gray here. So I'm going to take this and, oh, I needed 3D, I needed the large 3D dimensionals. I have run myself low out. Where's my pokey tool? I have like 10 pokey tools around here. Can I find it one? There. Now, I particularly like to lift up whatever element that I'm going to be putting the ribbon under. I feel like if you put the ribbon down and then put the paper directly on top of it, that it leaves this kind of pushed up. Well, hi, Miss Scarlett. Fancy meeting you here today. Miss Scarlett and I were just talking on the phone about the crazy invoicing. I should let you guys know, too, that I do actually have a full-time job while I'm running around trying to do all this. Let's get, oh my goodness, move this out. I am going to keep my foil, and I am going to play with my foil, even though some of it's been used. There's been some people that have shared that reusing the foil, especially over the textured dies, is actually pretty okay in what you get. And here we go. What I'm doing is just creating the space. So when you put it, the ribbon underneath a piece of paper that has been put up on dimensionals, there's space under the paper to allow for the ribbon to be there, and it doesn't create a bulge in the paper. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I do it all. I am blessed for many things, though. I have to tell you right now. So Grace had an accident. She is not hurt, and she is learning some very big adulting lessons right now. But she's not hurt. Everything is replaceable. You know what I mean? You can. Cars are replaceable. People are not. She scared herself pretty good. Well, hi, Suzanne. How are you? I was trying to tag Diane in this because she wanted to see the hot. Let me see if I can't tag her. It won't let me tag her on my business. Oops, there's the little beep. Don't know. It's not letting me do this. So beep means, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to set that right in the center. And I'm going to keep it all silver because that's kind of our jam today. Somebody could tag Diane. That'd be great. It is not letting me do it. All right, so here we go. I'm still a little bit not straight. Now I think that the brick texture on this is really pretty. And I'm gonna do 2 of these so you guys get to see. It's so amazing. this back. There are 3 colors. I did not, whoops, did I push that again, you guys? No, I didn't. I don't know what I did. Where are the directions? I did this earlier. It must be that I'm talking too much. And of course, I cannot find the directions under all the hot foil and everything I got going on. So I think, there we go. Okay, so that yellow light needs to be blinking for that to be heating. So it like heats it up, then you put your dye on it, then you hit it again till that's blinking, and then it'll do its thing over here. And we've gotten kind of to our point with this. And you know what? I have these crazy flowers. Yeah, not quite what you would maybe do. And now that I have this done, I need to decide where I'm going to put this bow. I tie it off to the side. I generally do not do anything in the center of something. And I actually don't want to tie that, but I do want to glue dot this down to hold it in place. And you can choose to glue dot down onto the cardstock or under the white piece of paper. So I'm just going to kind of, okay, so we're done. All right. Everybody remembers their first ooh and ah over, I have the paper, ladies. First ooh and ah over hot embossing powder. You're going to take this, leave your machine on. It's covered nicely. I'm going to take this piece right here and lay it down on the side that I want it on. Now, I did invest into some ceramic tipped, oh shoot, I'm not sure I have this down, self-holding tweezers, simply because it will allow me to touch things and not get burnt. It doesn't heat up the metal because this ceramic holds the heat, so I feel like that's Linda safe. Drop that down, drop this down, unplug this, and that's really super easy to unplug because it's magnetic, and that, I tell you, is a dream. We grab our embossing machine, and you want to do this slow. You don't want to rush. You know how we crank out our die cutting. You don't want to do that. And you just send this through really nice and slow. And I put it back into the silicone mat. Those silicone mats are designed to be really hot, or to have really hot stuff on it. I'm going to grab this down because I'm going to take it off while this plate heats up and we do the other piece. So you take off your pieces here. Isn't that pretty? I think that in and of itself is pretty. But that isn't what we're after. So what we are after is that. You guys see that? So there's your ooh and ah, no messy powder to deal with. That is my true annoyance of, I didn't even have to look, I love magnets. Look at that. So now it's blinking as it's heating the plate back up. And we oohed and awed. I put that silicone mat like off my desk, guys. I am seriously concerned about me burning myself very easily. So this pattern is on there, and people have talked about doing some other type of embossing, so I'm going to hang on to this. Like using the negative, and I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm not going to know unless I look it up and try it out. That's sort of the reality. So while that is doing that, I have one of these that has a glue dot on it. There it is. I'm going to put this right onto my silver. Hi Patty, how are you doing? And then I think that I was going to put this over here. And because I have the glue dot in the wrong spot, as far as like being able to put it under and be able to tie this the way I want to, I'm just going to glue dot that down there. Now I'm thinking that I want to keep it a little bit more masculine and not put a bow on it, so I'm just going to tie a double knot on it. I'm using the scissors to keep the tension on the ribbon. So I actually love to, when I use ribbon in my scrapbooking, I like, oops, this is not doing what I wanted to do. Now, of course, that was much faster just because it was already hot. Put that down. It does have grids on here, so if you are nitpicky and want to keep it straight, do that. And just kind of make sure I'm happy with my ribbon placement, because it's now, you know, definitely tied. It's nice and tight. And then we're going to put our sentiment on, and I'm going to 3D the sentiment on this as well. That takes a little, when you have to wait for this to heat up, and it does take a little more time. Okay. Sorry, I tend to be really nitpicky about my borders. There we go. A little bit better. Okay, where is my other? Guys, I just had that other piece of foil down here. Wow. Whatever here. All right, I guess I'll cut a new piece. If anybody sees it, let me know. Okay. Normally I can get this just, there we go, to slide as it cuts. Well, this is hot. I'm not got this quite as well. Don't do that. This is hot, hence having this. If you have the embossing kit for hot embossing powder, you get a pair of these. I have a pair somewhere around here. I don't know where they're at. And then we're going to take this, and I'm going to try and line it up with the lines, because I tried to line the die up on that. Yeah, Linda doesn't learn. Then we're going to take our plates again on top. Then your other spacer. And then you're going to unplug this like a magnetic. Totally cool to do. Run it through the machine. I really like the magnetic tool. And as I try and find the die cut that I dropped onto the floor, I will be using said magnetic tool to try and find that. Okay, and get that lined up. Just slowly start cranking. And there we go. Now the sides of this are not hot, so just pick it up, put it there. I do give you a heads up that the space that this heats up the space a little, the area. So if you're in a small room like I am, this does get warm. Get this out of the way. And just let that cool down on its happy little place here. Yeah, very handy, picks up all dies. And it's strong enough that it even picks up the scissors. It's back in stock, by the way, for anybody that might be looking for it. And then just pick this up. And we have actually, I did random stamping on that base, and it looks really good. Just as far as we're going to protect Linda. I'm going to put stuff on top of that. Linda safe, right? And another moonlit base. And I tell you, these look fantastic on black. I like to do things on black. Oh, update for the cards. Card kits for June. Card kits for June are going to get done. Or mailed out. I shouldn't say done. Mailed out. The reports finalized last week when I was gone, and then we got back and some people let me know that I had missed pricing some albums, and I had paper to finish getting up, so Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were spent pricing and putting paper up. I was just really surprised that I had missed the number of things in the album that I had missed. But it happens, and actually even Di and I were going through things last night, and we had found some more things that got missed. So, with that being said, always pays to have another. Yes, everybody needs one of the magnetic tools, even if you don't get the hot foil system. The magnetic tool is sold separate from the hot foil system. It comes in the foil system, and if you do buy the hot foil system, you get a free class from Stampin' Up! And you really want that class because it's really cool. What people are posting right now, a zillion great ideas on what to do here. Alright, so we're almost done with this card. So let's get some numbers up, because I am going to give away one of these cards. And it's a little bit more masculine. And one of them's going to say, thinking of you. And I have all the other ones, so we can put on the other one. Holy cow. Hey, Maureen, how are you? Oh my goodness, these do not want to come off. I'm not used to this giving me such grief. So the card that gets given away, you pick a number 1 through 30, closest to without going over. wins the card. And I'll put the sentiment that you need on here. I did a much better job getting that lined up. All right. There we go. So here, back to this. And I'm going to take my thinking of you because I have a friend I'm thinking of. Oh, Suzanne Dom, you are it. You are the winner chicken dinner. That was quick. 3. Yeah, well, not really mistakes. Lost things, Tina, for sure. But the magnetic tool is back in stock. Somebody was, I think Tina, you were the one waiting for it to come back in. I am thrilled to hear that you're doing well after your replacement, hip replacement. I know, wait, did you say hip or knee? You did knee. Okay. So I have other sentiments, Suzanne, that are done. And like I said, I'm doing the thinking of you. I'm going to send this off to my friend who's having a little rough time right now. Sending her a paper hug. And the sentiment options that you have is the get well. There's a happy birthday. There's celebrate. There's a thank you. Yes. Did you do the email reminder, like the email thing that lets you know when it's back in stock? I did that for the first time, and my gears and that came back into stock, and so I was really excited that it did send me an email and say, hey, come and get this. Now, this is going to a girlfriend, and I had those cute little flowers right here. So I'm going to take a card that is masculine-ish. Oh my goodness. And add some of these really pretty flowers onto here in the moonlight. So that it still kind of has a sweet little feel to it. And if this is for a guy, I can leave these off down here. All right. So there is our first hot foil card, because I have not been allowing myself to play with this until I get everybody's packages out of here. But just for y'all, so that we're not totally behind the rest of the Stampin' Up! World, here you go. A thinking of you card, and happy birthday is what. Does it go masculine? Do you want the little flowers or not the little flowers? Totally good with whatever you want. I feel like something happened to these dimensionals. I want these little guys to have a little lift. And here we go. Flowers. Excellent. All right, ladies. This will be out in the mail here with everybody else, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Please have a great weekend and stay safe. Love you guys. Take care.